The first thing we need to do is to cook our chicken so that it shreds, so that it lays nicely on our flatbread. The way that we're gonna do that is using a crock pot and using some sauce. So taking your buffalo sauce, pour it in a bowl. Use your handy dandy spatula. And then add 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. And what the brown sugar does is it actually sweetens up the sauce a little bit so it's not too spicy, and it actually makes some caramelization when you're cooking it. Okay, when that's all mixed up, we're going to pour this over. And the neat thing about a crock pot is it kind of does the work for you. You don't really have to do anything except turn it on. You're gonna turn it on to high heat for 3 hours. Just kind of mix it in there. Sure, there's some down at the bottom. Try to get it as sunk into the sauce as you can. And we're gonna turn this on and not look at it for 3 hours. So while our chicken is in the crock pot, we need to dice our green onions and then grate our cheese. If you did not buy the grated cheese already in a bag, then go ahead and use your block cheese and grate it using this side of the grater. And all you're going to do is hold your fingers like this together, line them up in a row, and cut the tops off first. That you do not need. Just set that aside. And then just kind of hold down as tight as you can and make very small, thin cuts. Very careful. Now, did you know that the tips of a green onion, some people call them scallions, is where you get the most flavor, but there's a lot of flavor in the green parts too. So keep dicing and use those parts of it too. I remember someone was saying, well, why are you cutting the green parts also and putting them in your recipes? And I said, because they have so much flavor also. And there, that's probably good. Now that the chicken is done, what you're gonna do is put it in another pan, or you can actually do it in the crock pot. Let it cool for a little bit, and then with a fork, you're just going to shred it into small little shreds. And that way it'll go nicely on the pizza. And then go ahead and get your squeeze bottle because you want to make your sauce that's going on top of your flatbread when it comes out of the oven. It's the mayo and the buffalo sauce, and then you just shake it. Shake it up really good, and then you'll be ready to put it on when it comes out of the oven. Okay, it's time to assemble our flatbread. You can either use the refrigerated pizza crust, just roll it out onto a pan, or you can use the flatbread that you can buy at the grocery store, which I'm going to show you first of all. So just lay your flatbread down. To kind of squeeze it in there. If you want some sauce on top, you can actually pour a little bit of your leftover sauce on top. And then just take the back of a spoon and spread it around. It's going to give the crust a little bit of moisture. And make sure that your oven is preheated. Okay, now we're going to take some of our chicken and just spread it on top of our flatbread. It really makes a nice hearty meal. This is nice because these little individual flatbreads, everyone gets a little piece. Now that you have all of the chicken down, now you're going to take your green onions and just sprinkle them on top. It's going to give it a little bit of a nice flavor. So now we're gonna take our cheese, and depending on how much you like cheese, go ahead and put that cheese on there. Then we're gonna pop this in the oven just until the cheese is melted, because you already have the meat cooked. About 10 to 12 minutes. Just watch it. When you start to see the cheese bubbling, then you know it's ready. All right, going in the oven. All right, so now that it's out of the oven, you're going to take your buffalo sauce and just go across to give it some more flavor and also make it look really nice. Voila!